Well, I believe one of the most important issues for individuals to be concerned about during this COVID-19 is their health. However, the one thing that will impact all of us is our finances. If you do not get your finances in hand, it will affect your health because you'll be worrying and worrying will increase your stress. And if your stress levels increase, it will impact your immune system. You do not need to compromise your immune system, especially during this pandemic. Now let me just say, I cannot tell you what to do, but I believe it's my duty to share with you the gift that God has given me. So here are some financial tips I want to share with you during this crisis. The first tip I want you to do that I'm providing is know your financial condition. Now is the time to truly document your financial condition. List all of your assets, your liabilities, your income and expenses. Develop a budget and a plan based on your condition, and then you can make decisions from there. Prioritize. Some people will experience a reduction in income. Some will not have any income at all because of the reduced hours of employment or no employment. You should know the difference now between your needs and wants. Eliminate your wants and focus on your basic needs only. Don't get things that you do not need. Deferral of mortgage payments. Now, some banks, I think the banks are offering 3 to 6 months of deferred mortgage payment. Now, personally, if you are still in a position to make your mortgage payment, please do so, because in the long run, the mortgage will be extended and the interest is being accrued. However, if you're not in a position to pay as a result of being laid off, then take advantage of this opportunity. And when you get back in order, you can pay extra. The next tip, refinance if the interest rate is favorable. I believe more than likely the interest rate will be favorable, it will be reduced. And if this is the case, you're strapped for cash and you have a mortgage, you need some extra cash, consider refinancing your loan. More than likely, obviously, if the interest rate is lower, your payments will be lower. So this is a way of help that you could get. Rent. Some of you may not have any mortgage, but you have to pay rent. If you're in a position to do so, please continue to pay your rent. Don't lie to your landlord. The landlord has obligations to meet. If you're not in a position, then speak with your landlord about possibly reducing the rent. Hopefully some landlords, have a cushion in the price that they charge, that they can reduce it and still meet their obligations with the bank or whatever their goals are. Some of you may have to relocate to other places whereby the rent is cheaper. This may include living with family members or getting roommates to share in the costs at this time. This market in Turks and Caicos is a high market of short-term rentals. And individuals obviously will experience a major loss. You may want to consider returning to long-term if you have loan obligations. If you don't have loan obligations, then stick it out and let's believe that things will improve soon. Alternative employment. For individuals who find themselves being unemployed, I say do not panic. You'll have to look for alternative employment, such as babysitting. This was a great point that Graffy had mentioned. Delivering food and grocery stores to individuals, cleaning services, and repairing services, or anything else that comes to your mind. Vacation pay. Of course, you do not know how long this crisis will last. Perhaps you can discuss with your employer about allowing you to take vacation now so you could get paid for at least 2 weeks. At least that helps. And I also want to encourage you to avoid debt, avoid new debt during this time. I know it's tempting to use your credit cards, get more loans, but please avoid getting into any new debt unless you are getting a good deal on your interest rate for refinancing. So if you are in a good position, you remain in a good position, continue to pay your loans and credit cards. If you're not, then consider negotiating for a lower payment until you are in a better position. Some of you may have savings, some of you may not have any savings. But if you do have savings, you may have to tap into your savings. However, when you tap into your savings, do not utilize all of it, because we don't know how long this crisis will last. Keep some savings set aside. But if you have to, then by all means, do so. But leave some, as I mentioned earlier, because you do not know how long this will last. And you should always have savings anyway. One of the most fundamental things we need to do is change our eating habits. There's not the time that you're spending a lot of money on food that you will not eat eventually. We buy a lot of food, we didn't even eat it. Make sure you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Start your garden now, even though it may not take a while to grow. But eat basic and simple food as long as it's healthy. Focus on that. Reduce your consumption on power. You know, one of the recommendations during this crisis is for increased ventilation. There's no time you should be, burning a lot of air conditioning. Leave your windows open, especially home during the day. At nights, obviously, for safety reasons, you would close the windows. But that makes sense. But there are other ways that you can conserve energy as well. I believe Fortis and your utility company will have ways to educate you on how you can. The final point I want to share with you is share with others if you're wealthy. Please use this time to help others, either by providing loans to them, interest-free, or by giving others something during this crisis. Now is the time to show how we care about each other. Please help each other. Many people die and leave money behind, so help. Despite how things look, do not panic. Review your budget, do your best to manage your finances. Ask for help. Don't be quiet on this, because you may harbor more negative thoughts. Remember that this crisis that you're going through is not permanent. Having faith, implementing great action plans, and having a great attitude will help you to survive and thrive during this time.